Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time, where we talk about the movies we like.
And the ones we don't.
I'm Tyler,
And I'm Molly.
and for this episode, we're going to be talking about the Pixar movie Coco for Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead.
Happy Day of the Dead.
In this movie, a young boy, Miguel, is trying to find the... Well, he wants to play music, but his family doesn't want him to because a long time ago, his great-great-grandfather, a musician, walked out on their family. And so because of that, they all hate music. But it's his dream, so he wants to do this. But then he finds out that his great-great-grandfather was the famous musician and actor Ernesto de la Cruz, so he thinks. And he's on a quest to try to get his blessing in order to be a musician. But along the way, he gets trapped in the land of the dead and has to find his way out.
Yeah, really an interesting story. But I think it is a little excessive that the family doesn't allow him to play music just because they had one, as they think, crappy family member.
Maybe so, but you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
So this movie stars Anthony Gonzalez as Miguel, Gael Garcia Bernal as Hector, a person he meets in the land of the dead who will become important later. We'll get to that later. Benjamin Bratt plays Ernesto de la Cruz, his Miguel's supposed great-great-grandfather. Elana Ubach plays Mama Imelda, his great-great-grandmother. And those are really the main players.
Yeah. Lots of interesting characters in this movie.
We have other character actors such as Gabriel Iglesias and Edward James Olmos as well in this movie, as well as Cheech Marin.
Yeah, interesting.
And Pixar mainstay John Ratzenberger, of course.
Of course, he's got to be in the movie somehow.
So, Coco. Well, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's an excellent, heartwarming movie. I think this is one of those Disney movies that no matter when I watch it, I'll probably shed a tear or two. Because it just really hits you in the feels, you know? It's just such a nice movie. The message is just very nice. It really makes me happy that I have a nice family of my own. And, yeah, it's just overall a very heartwarming film.
Yeah, I agree. I have Hispanic heritage in me. So, and this is one of those... One of the movies that really helps me connect to it.
Yeah, I don't, but I'm glad that you can experience that in this movie.
It's like something that feels familiar, but also different because, you know, growing up, we never did anything like putting pictures on an ofrenda or celebrating Dia de los Muertos. But part of me wishes we did, you know.
Yeah, it seems fun. Maybe we should start doing that. Or you can. And since I'm your wife, I get to as well.
It's okay. It's not cultural appropriation.
All right.
You have permission.
Yeah, I married you, so that should work.
And actually, this past April, one of my Hispanic grandmothers, she died. It was she was getting up there in age. She was in her 70s, and it just happened all of a sudden. So, watching this really, it made me think that maybe there's a fun place that she went to.
Yeah, It gets you thinking about death. Like, it had me thinking about all my grandparents are still alive because they're all still young. Well, not anymore, but they, you know, whenever I was born, they were still young.
They're youngish.
Yeah, so, and they're all healthy. And so it made me think, oh man, like one of these days, I'm going to have to live without them. And I'm like, ooh, I know, I'm not ready for that.
One of these days, you're going to be the old grandparent.
I don't want to be the old grandparent. I want to stay young.
And that plus the fact that I have another grandparent who is going through the same thing as Coco in this movie. Miguel's great grandmother. My grandpa has Alzheimer's, and just watching him like forget everything whenever I went to go visit him out at my aunt's place in Colorado. It's not fun. It's really not fun. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not good.
I mean, there was a really nice thing that happened at his 90th birthday last year, which is wild to think that he's over 90. But he's one of the younger ones among his siblings.
That is crazy.
I think his oldest brother is currently living is 94, 95.
Yeah, that's pretty old. My great grandma lived to be almost 102, so.
And that was your great grandpa.
Yeah, great grandma. Not grandpa, like, yeah.
And according to my aunt, he's had good days and bad days, but that was a better day when when his brothers showed up. It just all clicked for him, and he was able to talk with them just fine.
Yeah, seeing them probably helped register those memories in his brain or something like that.
Yeah. Funnily enough, this is this is gonna be a weird transition, but I have no other way to transition to movie trivia. But this was actually Pixar's first musical.
Yeah, that is interesting because I always associate Disney with like musicals. But when I was thinking back, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is Pixar's first musical, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Disney does it all the time, of course. That's what they're known for. But Pixar, they go their own way, which is really good.
Yeah, especially since Pixar always has really good movies. I think they're always really good.
According to the director Lee Unkrich, he cleared some things up that were people asked about concerning the movie. People in the land of the dead appear as they died, so their age and all that.
Yeah, so that means when you see little kids in the land of the dead, that means they died as kids.
They died as kids.
Which is a little dark.
I mean, kids die too.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like, that little family over there with the kids probably all died together in a terrible accident.
Yeah, probably. Just best to just not think about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. So another important part about this movie, Hector, spoiler alert, is Miguel's actual great grandfather.
Yeah, which I saw coming. I'm pretty sure the first time I watched this, since he could play guitar and he was musical, I was like, you know what? I think he's going to turn out to be the dad.
Also, the fact that he and Miguel were walking alike.
I didn't.
When they left the station, Miguel pointed out that they were walking alike.
Well, yeah, but I thought Miguel was just copying his walk to be more skeletal.
No, it's because they're related.
I thought it was whatever. Okay.
Yeah. So Hector, he was friends with Ernesto de la Cruz in real life, and they had left Santa Cecilia, the city where Miguel lives, so that they could become mariachis. But Hector was missing his family, so he decided, I'm going to go back home. Bye. And so, in response, Ernesto de la Cruz murdered him.
Yeah, poisoned his drink.
And then used that as a scene for one of his movies.
Yeah, that's kind of nefarious.
Pretty scummy.
Yeah.
So, we don't like Ernesto de la Cruz.
No, we definitely do not.
Great twist villain, though. Like, this isn't like Callahan from Big Hero 6 or Hans from Frozen or Bellwether from Zootopia. This is actually a decent reveal.
Yeah, one that I didn't really see coming. It kind of went in a different direction, and I really liked that.
It makes sense that De La Cruz wouldn't show any villainous tendencies if he's with Miguel or in the public. He's got to keep the image,
Yeah.
you know? And he honestly likes the kid.
It seems like it until, he finds out that he's a murderer.
Yeah, and he honestly likes having him around because, despite being a bad guy, Ernesto de la Cruz is human.
Yeah, and I think also you can argue that he likes having Miguel around because Miguel, really amps him up and is like, oh man, you're awesome, you're amazing, and he likes to hear that.
But he's also reasonable because when he asks Miguel to come to the Sunrise show with him as his guest, and Miguel shows him that, hey, I'm turning into a skeleton, I gotta get home. Ernesto doesn't say, well, it'll be fine, just come. He's like, oh, yeah, we do need to get you home, let's go.
Yeah, and he's gonna give him his blessing too, which we know wouldn't have worked, but...
Well, supposedly, it still works if the person you consider family is giving you the blessing.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, that would have been interesting though if it didn't work, and Miguel.
They'd be like, "Huh, what happened?" Which, yeah, the leaf didn't start glowing whenever he did it, and the leaf glowed whenever his actual family tried.
That's true. So maybe they did do it, anyways.
Maybe, I don't know.
And do we have anything else really pertinent to talk about? Stall for a second.
Yeah, the songs in this movie are really good. I don't know what my favorite song is. I really like, so Remember Me is the classic. Remember Me is the song that makes you cry. But I also really like the song at the end. I think it's like Proud Corazon or something like that.
Proud Corazon.
Yeah, I like that one. I think it's nice.
That one was a nice one. Really, I mean, I have this movie soundtrack on vinyl, so that shows that we really like it.
Yeah, it's a really good soundtrack.
And for Pixar's first and, well...
You shouldn't say only, if that's what you're going to say.
I was going to say only, but then I thought, is Soul a musical?
I don't know.
Well, it's not a musical in the sense that Coco is, so I'm going to say no. So far, Pixar's first and only traditional musical, it's pretty good. I feel like they should do more.
Yeah, I think so, because this one was a big hit.
This movie got all sorts of success. It opened in November against two superhero movies, Justice League and Thor Ragnarok, and managed to do respectfully well. And it went on to win a couple Academy Awards. I'm pretty sure Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song for Remember Me. So, yeah, people really love this movie.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's up there with my Disney movies.
If it wasn't for Moana, I would say this is my favorite Disney movie of the 2010s.
I'm trying to think. Probably. I'll have to remind myself later what Disney movies came out in the 2010s.
Speaking of Disney, there's this moment, you know how Disney is. They're a little silly, where they tried to copyright Day of the Dead for this movie. Why?
I've heard that. Is that true?
It's true. I'm gonna look that up though, just to make sure. Stall for a second.
Yeah, because that would be really stupid if you tried to do that, since it is a holiday and a celebration that you can't copyright. So, but that sounds like something stupid that Disney would try. But, did you find it?
Yeah. In Disney's own words, the trademark filing was intended to protect any potential title for our film and related activities. Disney, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like this is like when the Fine Brothers tried to copyright the word react. Why would you do that? That's ridiculous, and that's not gonna fly.
I don't know who they are, but yeah, that seems, very stupid.
And on top of that, Disney also was playing that 20-minute Frozen short right before the movie. Like, why would you do that? We're not here to see that. We're here to see Coco.
Yeah, I never saw that short because I never watched Coco in theaters, but I feel like, that was a bad decision on their part because it could have easily confused people and made them possibly leave the theater and be like, am I in the right movie.
To quote Pan Pizza, gotta get the honkies in somehow.
I have no idea what you just said.
It doesn't matter. Anyways, point is, eventually, theaters in Mexico just stopped showing the Frozen short altogether.
That makes sense.
But none of this matters when the movie itself is really good.
Yep, people still went to theaters to see it, I assume. Because, I think... this was, like, widely regarded as one of a really good Disney movie.
Yeah, of course. If it wasn't for any of the Toy Story movies, this would probably be my favorite Pixar movie. Just, I love it so much.
Yeah, I can't say the same just because I really like a lot of Pixar movies, and if you've watched our Disney top favorites, you know that Coco is not on my list.
Oh, that's not coming out until after this video.
Oh, never mind then. That surprise for later.
Anyways, so who was your favorite character in this?
I'll probably just have to go with Miguel. He's a good protagonist, likable. He sticks to what he believes in, and that's good to see in a character. I also like Hector. Is that who you're gonna go with?
I was gonna say Hector.
Okay, then you talk about Hector.
Yeah, I love his story and how he realizes that, trying for success isn't so important when you're leaving your family behind. And I love that in the end he gets forgiven by his family and is allowed to see his daughter Coco, who let's talk about that real quick, because in the land of the dead, if you're put on someone's ofrenda, you're allowed to cross over and see your family and all that, or whoever put you on their ofrenda. People who aren't live in this sort of like ghetto area. Well, they aren't really segregated, because they can go wherever they want. But like they don't really have anyone in the living world to put them on their ofrenda, so they're each other's family. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, and it seems like even though they're in a society where money shouldn't exist because everyone's dead, they do seem like the lower class, like the poor people, stuff like that.
True, but we don't really see anyone treat them as lesser.
No, that's true. No.
I mean, we see people treat Hector as lesser, but that's just because he's kind of a...
He's a little ornery. A
little bit. He's kind of unreliable, and he borrows things and doesn't give them back because he loses them or whatever. So, yeah, people treat him as lesser, but that's really his own actions.
Yeah, that's his own fault.
Anyway, so when people forget people in the land of the dead, they suffer a final death and they disappear again. Where do they go? We don't know. We don't know at all. But this whole time, Hector is trying to get Miguel to put his photo on his own ofrenda, which we later find out that if that you got to be remembered by someone who knew you in life. So how would that work? I don't know.
I thought you just had to be remembered.
No. When Hector's friend who let him borrow the guitar had his final death, Miguel tried to go back to the living world to remember him, but Hector said that it only works with someone who knew you when you were alive remembers you.
Oh.
Which is why it was so important, because for Coco having Alzheimer's and forgetting Hector.
So if Coco died, she's the only one who remembers him from life.
Correct.
So will he disappear when Coco dies?
He would have if Miguel hadn't gone to the real world at the last second, jogged Coco's memory, and got her to start talking about him.
Okay. So even if Coco dies now, he'll still be able to come back.
Yeah. Well, we saw at the end of the movie he was there.
Well, yeah, I guess so. So they can still live even if if all their living people...
If they pass on the memory of you to someone else, then you can still be there.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
You get it now?
Yes.
Okay. I think the movie explained that pretty well.
Yeah, but you confused me. You started talking weird, you know.
You're just silly.
Whatever.
You didn't deny that though.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, so all that happened, and which leads to a really, really heartwarming and sad scene where Miguel is trying to get Coco to remember by singing "Remember Me," and they're crying, and I'm crying.
Everybody's crying during that scene.
This is the second night in a row where I cried while doing something. Last night I finished Red Dead 2, and well, if you know, you know.
Yeah, it took you long enough. Which is big talk coming from me, who has never finished it.
Yeah. Step up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Love you.
I had to restart my file. I love you too.
Anyways, that's probably all we have to say about Coco.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll catch you next time. And next time, we're probably going to be doing our Disney ranking for the 100th anniversary of the studio.
Yay, Disney.
Which, that whole thing that they did was last month, but you know what? Whatever.
Whatever.
See you next time.